Hey guys, welcome to the 2024 Goodwood Festival of Speed. We're here with BMW Classic and I'm joined today once again by Sean from Precision Sport Industries in Orlando, Florida. You might have seen our video by now from BMW Classic in Munich. It was just 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think so.
And now we're here back again looking at some new classic cars. But we're going to focus on the racing history of BMW, and we have quite a few products here that we can talk about. But let's start with one that's quite exciting, and that's the one right behind us. And this is a BMW 2002, but not your regular 2002. The official name is 2002 TIK. So tell me what that stands for, and then we can take a look at the car too.
Yes, I mean, just by the name, it's a fuel injected with an added turbo. So the turbo added about 70 horsepower to the motor. Car makes around 280 horsepower now, and they actually had fitted the turbo to make sure that the next season in Group 5, the drivers were going to be able to have that power ready for their disposal.
Okay, so if you were to compare this with a regular 2002, how would you describe that engine in even more detail?
Well, it's a standard M20, and it has the fuel-injected mechanical fuel pump that a TII would have, but this was fitted with a turbo after the fact. And when we spoke to the Prince, he was telling us about the driving style of the car. Has to keep it in boost, has to keep it in power, because not only of the lightweight nature of the car, but the way the power delivery is, he really has to stay in it. And it really made the car ultra competitive. It ended up winning the Group 5, I believe, in 68.
Exactly. So 68, Dieter Quester was the driver and managed to win the European Tour, the European Touring Car Championship with this car. And then today you mentioned the Prince. It's Prince Leopold of Bavaria. He will actually drive this car today up the hill. He's got a very wide racing history, very detailed racing history, I guess. He drove a lot of cars in the past.
This is a pretty famous car from 2002 as are concerned. And one of the main things that you'll notice is the pig cheek style flares that this car has, which is in period what they did to go ahead and widen the track and get it ready to go to the racetrack.
Yeah, maybe we take a look inside as well, so maybe you follow us. Typical 2002, but is there anything else that's special about this?
I mean, the boost gauge is really special because that allowed them to watch the boost with the car and really focus on the power it made. But also the setup of the tack and everything in here, they're set up to go to the racetrack, and this car has been meticulously restored by BMW back to the way it was back in the 60s.
If you look at the engine bay, I mean, it's absolutely
It's amazing. It's like
flawless.
a brand new car, inside and out. So it's amazing to see it here. And then as we move through with these cars, this is sort of the beginning of really the successful racing for BMW. And then we'll move into the 90s and then into the 2000 era.
So in 1994, BMW wanted to compete in a new series, which is called Paddock. It was a series created to complement the DTM Racing Championship. So this is one of the cars that BMW introduced in the championship. It's a E36 318i, which was driven by Johnny Cecotto in 1994. He actually managed to win the championship. So it's not your regular E36. We can see this by the livery. But is there anything else special about the car?
Well, this is a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine that competed in the ADEC series. It also has honed aerodynamics that were not introduced with the car, but were further developed later, and they ended up winning the series with it.
Yeah, so I mean, quite iconic car, right? I mean, I don't think every time you see this car, you know what it is.
Yeah.
So of course, it's a racing car, so there are a few modifications done to the car as far as aerodynamics. You want to talk about those as well?
Yeah, I mean, these are the revised aerodynamics for the car. It originally had a little bit of a different form, but as the season progressed, they made these changes. You can see one of them with the super aggressive front splitter, and there's a matching rear wing that's adjustable with flaps in the back. They can actually adjust the downforce with the car. Again, gives you the ability to set it up for different tracks and different setups as the season goes on.
And this livery, man, it's absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's an amazing livery. Car, once again, pristine. I mean, you can see inside, absolutely spotless inside.
It is, and another thing I'll point out is a lot of the E36s of the day ran sedans rather than the coupes because the actual chassis is stiffer for racing. So you'll notice here this is a sedan and not a coupe, which most people would assume would be the race car. It's not, it's a sedan.
What's the weight of the car, do you remember?
It's about 2,200 pounds.
Okay, and it makes about 285 horsepower, so that's a good weight to power ratio.
RPM, so it's a really high revving 4-cylinder. It's got a sequential gearbox in it, which is really top technology in 1994. Again, another period of BMW of success, but also it's an icon here at Goodwood Festival of Speed.
Okay, so now we're going to move a little bit closer to our times, and we're going to see one of the winning cars for Le Mans, which is quite iconic, and we can talk about that as well.
Absolutely. So here we are 5 years later with BMW Motorsport, and we have behind us the V12 LMR.
So this car will be actually driven today by the BMW MCO Frank Van Miel. Of course, it's an iconic car. It's actually actually the only car that BMW managed to win Le Mans with, 1999. And it's an interesting project because it started a few years earlier than that. It was a collaboration between BMW Motorsport and the Williams F1 team. I think the Williams F1 team built like 4 different chassis for the car. And then finally in 1999, they managed to win Le Mans, which is,
and I think they competed 3 years. They entered it 3 years consecutively. And 99 was the year that they ended up winning Le Mans.
Probably one of the most iconic racing cars that BMW has, not just for that particular reason because he won Le Mans, also the technology behind it. It's a super lightweight car, 900 kilograms, makes about 580 horsepower. At the time, it was actually one of the fastest cars. I think it can go over 300 kph, which is quite impressive. For the Americans, that's 186.
190 mile an hour, basically.
Exactly, which is absolutely impressive. And of course, it still runs today. I've seen it on the track before, and I can't wait to actually see it today here in Goodwood. Anything else to add to this one?
This is just when I started following BMW really closely with the racing. It has a special place in my heart. And also to see the LMDH car next to it, you can tell where that car came from this.
Exactly. I mean, you can see the racing history moving forward. Of course, this one was not so successful in this year Le Mans. Unfortunately, both cars, the R car and this one, they retired early, quite early actually. But nonetheless, they're all here. This is the history of BMW Classic here at Goodwood Festival of Speed. Of course, we have a lot more content coming up, so we're going to keep you updated. Sean, thanks for all the insights. I guess we'll keep moving around here, show some more cars, newer cars, older cars.
We will, and there's some secret stuff that we have to go find now, so let's start walking and get those cars.
Sounds good. Guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.